elderly woman declared dead. The only issue is she isn't, and it's causing her and her family several problems. The N4T Tucson investigators look into how this could happen and what's being done about it. Cochise Nylander has more in tonight's investigation.
It all began around Thanksgiving. What was supposed to be a happy time for the Forshow family quickly turned into a nightmare like they never imagined. Christy Forshow was devastated to learn of her mother's death right before Thanksgiving.
It was horrible. I mean, you're supposed to be happy with your family, having fun, enjoying family time, and this happens to you?
But to her surprise, she learned from Social Security her mother passed away while she was sitting next to her.
It was a big surprise. I'm like, how can she be dead when she's right here?
Her mother, Wanda, seeming very much alive to us.
I just sat there and thought for a minute, and I said, I'm dead. Nobody told me.
But what happened after is no laughing matter. Wanda says she stopped receiving her checks from Social Security she depends on. Her death was reported to the credit agencies, freezing her credit history, and her health insurance stopped her Medicare coverage.
I have no insurance. I can't get my medicine because I was dead. And then I had no money to pay my premiums anyway.
So she has been relying on her daughter to take care of her while she tried getting the issue taken care of. But more than a month later, she says the situation hasn't been fixed.
I kept calling. I must have made 40 calls to the Social Security office.
She says Social Security would not tell her how she was declared dead.
And I said, how can you say I'm dead and ruin everything in my life and not know who did it?
Do you feel it's been harder to prove you're alive than it seemed to be to prove you were dead?
Yeah.
According to the most recent audit from the Inspector General for the Social Security Administration, an estimated 6,000 people a year are mistakenly declared dead. The N4T Tucson investigators reached out to Social Security about Wanda's mistaken death. A spokesperson telling us in part, privacy laws preclude Social Security from discussing the specifics of an individual's case. Approximately 2.9 million deaths are reported to the Social Security Administration each year, and our records are highly accurate. Of these millions of death reports we receive each year, less than 1/3 of 1% are subsequently corrected. Deaths are reported to Social Security primarily from the states, but also from family members, funeral homes, and financial institutions.
It's one of those things you don't run across very often, but when you do, there's always a story around it that points out we should have a better process.
James E. Lee is the COO for the Identity Theft Resource Center. He says there are several possible explanations for how Wanda was declared dead.
So it is more often than not, it is a clerical error. It can be as simple as someone miskeyed a Social Security number. Also, the possibility that there could be identity theft involved.
For Wanda, she just hopes she can be resurrected soon.
There's got to be something done in the system for them to get better information. If nothing else, to call me and ask me, am I dead?
Lee says if you find out you have been wrongfully declared dead, report it to Social Security as soon as possible because in his experience, it can take several months to resolve. Investigating for you, Cochise Nylander, N4T Tucson.